Hey everyone, Brian Sykes here from the AI Lab with something pretty nostalgic and fun to share with you today. My stepmom mailed me some old film footage she had scanned and uploaded to a Google Drive a while back. This clip is from around 1981, capturing a great family trip we took to Walt Disney World in Orlando. In this footage, you can see my dad, my stepmom, my brother Justin, who was a little redhead, and my cousin Wayne. And of course, there is a very awkward, goofy version of me from way back when. That's actually me on the left in the white tee, dancing a little silly on a pier with my dad and cousins. So I immediately thought, why not turn this little slice of family chaos into something my kids will laugh at? It also serves as a neat example of how I turn long-form footage into bite-sized social clips using modern AI tools. Normally, I would use something like Runway for expand tricks or Photoshop for cleanup tasks. But today I want to show how a tool like Vizard fits perfectly into a real creator workflow. The goal is to auto-detect the good bits, make quick edits, and push out multiple short clips across socials without killing a weekend. The first essential step is finding the best moments within the long-form file. I uploaded the entire grainy clip directly into the Vizard platform to begin the analysis. The tool's auto-editing feature is actually wild. It scans the whole file for peaks of energy. It then suggests several short clips ready for immediate posting without any manual scrubbing through every minute. I let it run, and it pulled out a handful of segments where I was being goofy or dancing on that pier. It also managed to grab a couple of little candid, quiet moments featuring my dad and brother. It even labeled one specific clip as high energy, possible viral hook, which was very accurate. That accuracy came from the fact that I was flailing my arms around like only an 8-year-old can do. Now, if you want to add music or a specific soundtrack, you can handle that within the Vizard tool too. However, I ran a tiny experiment where I used the auto-edit clips to feed into a simple music generator. My first prompt asked for hard-driving 70s Southern rock energy. Think Leonard Skinner, upbeat and celebratory. The generator thankfully returned 2 distinct options for me to choose from that day. I ultimately picked the one that had that really driving rhythm, which was just perfect for the goofy dance segment. Vizard makes it super easy to drop that music on top, trim the audio precisely to the beat, and line up quick cuts. The result is a final clip that feels totally intentional and professionally put together. Here's the trickier part of the process where I involved another specialized tool. The original 1981 footage was almost square, and the initial framing felt a little too tight on the subjects. If you want to reformat for Reels or TikTok, you must either reframe by cropping or try to expand the canvas. Runway's expand feature is cool for this because it can synthesize extra pixels above or below the existing frame. However, that expansion is certainly not magic when the camera is moving, or new elements should appear off frame. You will get artifacts and weird distortions when the AI tries to invent details it has never seen. Case in point, in my clip, a car and a railing on the side appear and disappear oddly during the generative expansion. This clearly shows that combining different specialized tools is where creators achieve the absolute best results. My final process ended up like this: Vizard for the heavy lifting of clip detection and rough cuts. Next, Runway for any experimental expand passes where I needed slightly more background composition. And finally, Photoshop or Lightroom for dedicated cleanup work if I needed a perfect reference still image. Here's how that entire flow worked from start to finish in practice. I let Vizard pick all the potentially viral segments, and I manually chose the top 3 that matched my storytelling arc. The 3 chosen moments were the goofy dance, a quiet moment with my dad, and a family walk-off shot. Then I ran that single dance clip through the expand pass to see if I could gain more sky and pier in the frame. The expansion did a respectable job, but it definitely introduced some funky tree artifacts and a slightly warped car detail. So I used a quick frame-by-frame cleanup in Photoshop to create a clean reference background plate. I then re-imported that clean plate as a background and used Vizard again to recomposite the short clip on top. The final result reads much better when viewed on a mobile phone screen in vertical format. Now let's talk about publishing, which is where Vizard really shines compared to doing this manually. Some competitor tools let you edit clips, but they lack a solid way to schedule and manage posting across all your platforms. Others, like Runway or Midjourney, focus on the generative image and video work, which can be pricey per render. Editing in Premiere or Final Cut gives you total control, but it takes forever and you end up duplicating work for every platform. Vizard's auto-schedule feature is the single biggest time saver I cannot overstate in this entire pipeline. You simply set the desired posting frequency, for example, 3 clips per week, and Vizard queues them up. It even optimizes the recommended posting times, specifically for each individual platform, removing all guesswork. Paired with the content calendar, you can see all upcoming posts, swap a clip, or reassign content easily. If you want to preserve your organic voice, this calendar is the place to tweak captions to be platform native. For instance, captions should be shorter for TikTok, a little more descriptive for YouTube Shorts, and hashtag heavy for Instagram. People always ask what's better in a direct comparison, so let's look at a few key moments. Midjourney and Runway definitely have their own magic, like nailing stylized art or painterly background expansions. But even their generative features have clear operational limits for day-to-day creation. Midjourney only does images and is completely unsuited to parsing a long video for your best 5 clips. Runway's expand options are impressive, but they can rapidly consume your credits when you are doing high-volume work. Furthermore, you still need a completely separate tool just to handle the social media scheduling aspect. The script is amazing for transcription and certain text-based editing workflows, that much is true. However, its own social posting pipeline is often limited unless you pair it with several other services. Vizard positions itself in a sweet spot by automating the most tedious editorial decisions for creators. A core function is taking long videos, picking the viral parts, and turning them into ready-to-post content automatically. Then it auto-schedules everything based on your preset cadence, so you don't have to babysit daily uploads. The integrated content calendar provides that unified hub to manage and tweak everything before it goes live online. For creators who absolutely need high output without sacrificing their unique personality, that centralized system is huge. One important thing to note is that Vizard won't magically fix every single frame in every video. If the source footage has weird camera motion or strange exposure issues, you will still need some hands-on cleanup time. But you get to decide exactly where to invest that precious time for the best return on effort. You can fix that one keyframe in Photoshop, let the main tool chop the rest, and then schedule everything across platforms. That combination results in wins all around the entire content creation spectrum. So here's a little exercise you can definitely try with an old family clip or a long podcast recording you have. First, upload the raw file to Vizard and let the auto-edit feature pick out all the best highlights. Next, select about 3 to 5 candidate clips that you feel best represent the story you want to tell. Then, add music and carefully tweak those captions to be perfectly tailored for each specific platform. After that, set the auto-schedule to drip them out over the course of a week to maintain audience engagement. Use the content calendar to quickly reorder anything if you feel the narrative flow shifts slightly off track. If you want a wider aspect or a creative background, run that single problematic clip through a generative expand tool. Remember to do light cleanup on the generated area and then re-import it back into the main editor. My final thoughts are that this little 1981 Disney clip was an absolute blast to work with for this whole demonstration. Digitally restoring and recontextualizing old family footage is truly a mix of pure nostalgia and smart content strategy. You can either lean fully into generative tools and spend hours tweaking every minor detail, or you can leverage something like Vizard to do the bulk of the heavy lifting and keep your voice human. The main benefit is getting that content out the door incredibly fast without compromising your vision. Plus, when you are juggling school, a job, and 1,000 other things, an auto-schedule that respects your cadence is a lifesaver. Again, this has been Brian Sykes with the AI Lab, and I truly hope this walkthrough gave you some actionable ideas. Go dig up an old tape, let the AI find the true gems hidden inside, and post the good stuff you uncover. If you try this specific Vizard flow, please tag me or drop a comment below so I can check it out. I would genuinely love to see what weird and wonderful dance moves your younger self cooked up back then. That's all for now. Peace out.